All right, Lions fans, this is your guy. I'm not as Lions fan, but let's talk on the Lions briefly about this upcoming season and a little prediction that's going to happen throughout the season. There will be four players, and I repeat, there will be four players that will be on the trading block throughout the season. Of course, from the trade deadline on down, you're going to have Decker, Johnson, Marvin Jones, and Trufant. Those four players will be on the trading block. And this is why. This is why Decker, Carrion, Marvin, and Trufant throughout the season will be on the trading block. Is because of this one reason. Decker, Vatai, or Vatai. Crosby, Swift, Bo, Cephas, Marvin Hall, Amani. One thing the Lions will not do this year, what they have done the previous 2 years, by not having a structure or a foundation, and through decimate of injuries and so forth, they was forced to stick and stay. And what I mean by sticking and staying is that they had to hold on and wait to play the waiting game. The Lions' history has been this: our star player goes down, and we will play the waiting game. When they come back, the team can't go forward because there's no one that was in position in the balance. No, in other words, there was no one developed. There was no one ready to step up or to take over that person's position. In other words, they was looking in the shadows of the person ahead of them. There was no one to take Calvin Johnson's spot. There was no one to take Barry Sanders' spot. So when they retired or whatever, they played the waiting game. Or if a key injury happened, say like for example to Javid Best, there was no one to take his spot. Now you look at this year roster and they say like what the roster that Quinn and Patricia have assembled for the last past up to let's say 3 years. They have, let's say your key players. Let's say you have left tackle, you got Decker. Um, your starting running back is Kerryon Johnson. Your starting receiver is Marvin Jones, and your starting possibly, allegedly, maybe your starting cornerback is Trufant. What you have behind them is what? Hungry, somewhat experienced, or maybe no experience, but hungry. They have no relations to anything prior to them coming in. And it's basically to do what? To do their job. Which means to do their job, you're looking at them to adapt, to give effort, to dominate, to evolve, to execute, and to assert their will. That's just something I'm coming up with. I guess I am trying to be Patricia at this point, as well as Quinn. So I look at those guys, those four guys on the hot seat. If they, I look at it this way: if they surpass, well, I guess the basic expectations for them, that will be Carry On staying healthy. That will be Decker actually improving because he has actual legitimacy of left guard to either to assist, to complement, etc. And you may have someone that's not satisfied with the so many touchdowns that they received last year. They want to increase their game, not just being vertical threat. They want to do more. They're just not content with what they have achieved here, or to the certain point of their career. So otherwise, you got Amani that's willing to approve, that's got something to prove, or who wants to be on the field. They say you have Swift and Bo. Um, they showed well, Swift haven't shown anything as of yet, besides the fact that he's coming in hungry. Right? There's some hype, but nothing is warrant to be legitimate or logistic for anything that he have accomplished on the pro level. He just coming in hungry, right? I would say this for Swift, what he has for him, he checks off all the boxes for a running back. That's out catching out the backfield, that's being able to hit the long speed, that's really hit the hole, that's really have vision, that's really the block, that's willing um, to not have much of an ego, but actually do his job. Versus someone like the one that's before him, they can pretty much content. Up to this point, the fans are saying, "We need you, we need you, we need you." But now when they draft this guy, the fans is switching. We need you. It's there, but it's not as loud. So that's why I said they could be on the hot seat. He could have a out of the first, let's say, 4 games. If he's healthy, 4 games, and he's showing something, and Swift is not up under him like in production, but is, yeah, that is, he's excelling. He's getting better. He's increasing. He's progressing. You're going to see Mr. KJ be on the block. Now, the reason why I would say Marvin Jones is because the guy who I'm looking forward to be great, and they're probably gonna have a like a it's probably gonna be weird because they will have like a 2 tight end or 3 tight end set or something like that, or 2 tight end set, and I'm not speaking of Jesse James. I'm speaking of uh, Isaac Nada and maybe the unrestricted free agent that came in. I'm looking for somebody to leapfrog to make to basically to say I want somebody else's spot. You're not getting Hawkinson's spot. Okay, Hawkinson got a lot to prove, not by the fans saying it to him. No, he's putting this on himself. I want to be great. So, and he's the type of guy that's going to put in the work to be great. He's not content where he is, so I don't worry about Hawkinson. Hawkinson and Swift, they're going to complement Kenny Galladay as much as Amendola increased or the production of Kenny Galladay. But I will say this about Cephas, Isaac Nada, and maybe the unrestricted free agent Bryant. I'm looking for somebody to leapfrog to make Marvin Jones expendable. Any guy that have been here for 3 years is pretty much comfortable with the environment. And this year this team is gonna go through a culture shock. And what I mean by that is it's not going to be the same how it was last year in the locker room and so forth. It's not going to be the same how it was the year before that in the locker room, and even executing that from the film room to the executing on the field. It's going to be a lot different. Patricia's going to have a lot more control because the people that he will have as assistants and coordinators, whatever, will know exactly what he will want them to execute from his players to implement that to pass on to the players so they can execute that on the field. Patricia is going to be more in position to be a head coach this year than he was the prior 2 years. And this is one thing I'm going to say to anybody who's listening about, as they said, Patricia's a bad coach. Now, I'm not going to come from the perspective of what it takes from an offensive. I mean, come from a coordinator to become a head coach. I'm going to say it from because he came from a defensive position. But anyway, I'm going to say it from putting down a foundation. Now, people give all the credit in the world to Bill Belichick for being this juggernaut, you know. But if I'm now, please forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm going not off of statistics. I'm not going off of Google. I'm going off of what I, you know, I see. Bill Belichick built his franchise or his establishment off of he built his regime off of Bill Parcells, correct? Bill Parcells was in New England before Bill Belichick was there. If not, Bill Belichick was assistant. I don't know how it goes. It was established. All the foundational work was established. When Patricia got here, everything that was established, even to the extent what Quinn was saying, that 9-7, that is that how it's built, the way it was built to be only 9-7. It wasn't built to surpass 9-7. He said all that has to be tore down, and so that's what they did. So this year, I expect this team to be a totally different front. And with that being said, I will go on the record by saying this the defense will be totally different. Like I'll give you some names, and I want you to keep note of these throughout the year. Of course, barring injuries and anything of unforeseen. Um, Okuda, we're gonna go with the three juggernauts or the three anchors. You're gonna have Harmon, or you could say Walker, but I'm gonna say Harmon, Collins, and Trey Flowers. Harmon, Collins, Trey Flowers. Those are your three anchors. If you notice, those are three depth positions. That's your defensive line, that's your linebacker core, or the middle of the field, and that's your secondary. Have the Lions organization have ever had all three that was considered all pro? I've I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I may see two, not two out of three, one out of three, but I never seen three out of three all pro. So these are some names that I'm going to throw out at you. And Okuda, Walker, Harmon, Collins, Tavai, Trey, Han, Shelton, Aquara, and Bryant. Those are some names I'm throwing out at you. That's on the defense side. Those are going to be the consistent names. I'm going to say, arguably, maybe one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, possibly eight. Eight of them is going to either be in the Pro Bowl or All Pro, or possibly both. Now let's go to the offense side of the ball. The guy who I'm looking to be just a beast, of course, is my anchor guy is Ragnow. Ragnow, Kenny Galladay are my two anchors on offense. With Kenny Galladay, you surround him with Hawkinson and Swift. Notice I didn't say Marvin or Carrion. Hawkinson and Swift. They're going to put Kenny Galladay. Now let's go to the offensive line. This is my projection of an offensive line. I'm not giving you no positions and anything like that, but these are going to be the four guys, maybe five guys. Let me see. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Four guys that I'm looking for them to be in the lineup on together developing something. That's Ragnow. That's Joshua Jackson. Halapalute Vaitai. Halapalute Vaitai. And Bo Benchwall. I'm looking for those to develop something. Starting from the moment that they can get together, start practicing if they haven't been doing it already, um, through off the field, whatever, some sort of way, and off of Zoom or maybe. But I expect them to start developing something. And I'm going to see them on the field at the same time. Ragnow, Jackson, Vaitai, and Ben Schul. Looking at them. So with that being said, I don't know who would be my left tackle, but I won't be surprised if Crosby get in the mix somehow. Decker, he could show up and show out. But that's only going to do is make him more valuable to be traded. Being a left tackle, showing up and showing out, valuable. The Lions, I'm looking at these four positions, possibly the Decker, the Carry On, the Marvin Jones, and Trufant, is to get assets back in return based upon what's in pursuit, that's coming in pursuit after them, that's coming right behind them. All right, Lions fan.